When we had last left the Nameless One, well, their adventures finally took them to the Fortress of Regrets, where they would perhaps come face to face with the source of all their problems and answers to all their questions. And actually, they did get quite a few answers already, thanks to some querying of the various incarnations which they had run into upon touching a weird crystal. Also, there were some terrible greater shadows, some relics. Their party got separated and probably killed. Ignis was there. Weirdly enough, I don't really know about that. That was a little weird how Ignis showed up in such a way, but what can you do? Anyway, it was now time to begin merging. This is Planescape Torment Enhanced Edition. Welcome back. Now, I think we'll start from practical and go counterclockwise, right? Let me do a quick save. As you can see, we regened a little bit. I left the game running a little bit in a fun little secret maneuver. How about that? All right, practical incarnation. Okay. If you're a part of me, there are things I would know. The incarnation affixes you with a stony gaze as you approach. It looks like he is sizing you up for weaknesses. Now, we've already asked all of this previously. I will not merge with you. You will merge with me. The man looks at you, then smiles incredulously. I surrender to no man. It is you who will be absorbed by me. I doubt it. I shall not fight you this day, then. Still, there are other things I would know. Never mind, then. Let me get my bearings and we shall speak again. I doubt it. Do you intend to fight me on this? The man seems more amused than anything else. You are no match for me. There's little point in resisting. Try me. I shall not fight you this day, then. Still, there are other things I would know. There are other things I would know. I will indulge you, but only for a while longer. Is there anything I could do to get him to... Who are these others? Other things I would know. Do I need to fight him? Alright, you will merge with me. I doubt it. Try me. So be it then. His eyes become gray like mist, and he gives a slight smile, as if in anticipation. We shall see what your mind has in store. You lock gazes with him. His eyes are like stones, and they start to drag you down. Lock gazes with him and try and force him to merge with you. Surrender your will and allow yourself to be absorbed. I'll try and force him. As you swim in the corridors of his mind, the first emotion you encounter is surprise, and his eyes widen. He is not absorbing you. Your will is stronger, and it is consuming him. You feel him desperately trying to pull back, but he cannot. He is too weak, and your will blocks his retreat while drawing him deeper into your subconscious. This is the last time we shall ever speak. Return to death where you belong. He looks incredulous for a moment. Then he disintegrates. You feel a rush of knowledge pouring through you, fighting to the surface. It's almost too much to absorb at once, and you find yourself disoriented. So much knowledge, so many experiences that... Oh, +1 int and wisdom. And as quickly as it occurred, the rush subsides, and you steady yourself. The bits of knowledge swirl about in your mind, and you will make sense of them later. For now, only one piece of knowledge is important, that the incarnation did not know how to leave this place. He lied to trick you into surrendering. Yeah, that makes sense. He was a rat fucking bastard. frankly, I trust the paranoid one more, right? At least I can trust that this one will not try to lie to me and stab me in the back in that same way. I mean, he'll still try to stab me in the back, but, you know, he'll be honest about it. All right, damn it. Oh, no, wait, it's the Nameless Ones. Damn it. Right? We know how that sounds. Okay. Let's see. Paranoid incarnation? Actually, should I change around my stuff here again? Let's see, that gives +2 whiz. I guess I could get rid of the one of grace. Yeah. Do I want that, or do I want 2 charisma? I'll take 2 charisma, why not? Panic schmanic. If we get panicked and it kills us, we can just swap it out prior to a quick save or whatever. Better to have the charisma always on. Okay. Paranoid incarnation. This mad incarnation is watching you warily, and he hisses as you approach, his hands clenching as if wanting to strangle you. His arms are horribly gnarled and scarred, as if they had been dunked into a stream of acid, and his left arm looks like it is holding on by a thread, literally. Okay, I had some things I would know. Okay. Language of the Uyo. Let us speak in private, just the two of us. He nods slowly. I hear you. This place confuses one's perceptions. We are both you, and now we must become as one. He looks frightened. To your surprise, he reverts to normal speech, and all the inflections to his voice are gone. It is calm, level, much like your own. I no longer wish to live like this. You no longer have to. All the pain and worry and torment of your existence, I will wipe it away. You have suffered much. You were born into a world where nothing made sense, where strangers claimed they knew you. They blamed you for things you knew nothing of, and they tried to hurt you. I like that. I like that a lot. How humanizing, right? How humanizing. It paints an even clearer picture of, like, who this person was. Right? They went through a lot of the same things that we did, but they didn't have all of the same faculties to keep them, like, steadied. You know? They were, unfortunately, they spun out of it all. Let's go with 2. You've suffered much. You were born into a world where nothing made sense, where strangers claimed they knew you. They blamed you for things you knew nothing of, and they tried to hurt you. He looks at you, and you watch as the incarnation loses its mad gleam, and his eyes become more like your own. Yes, I will protect you now. You will know peace, for that is all you ever wanted, isn't it? The incarnation relaxes at your words, his eyes dimming as he locks gazes with you. There's the faintest of whispers, and he falls to the black stones. With his collapse, you feel a crawling sensation in the back of your skull. Strength and con. Ah. And there is a flood of memories and strength and emotions. And you steady yourself, dizzy for a moment. Then your vision clears, and you are yourself once more.
I feel stronger.
Oh. Okay. What should I get here? Level up? Yeah, I think we're just going to keep getting a characteristic point every time. Save throws improved, spell memorization improved, okay. I guess I'll cap out int. Why not, right? Okay. Your intelligence marks you as one of the brilliant minds in the multiverse. Okay. I love the little bits of descriptions about, like, just how much strength, int, whiz, dex, con, charisma you have. They're so fun. Okay.
All right.
Let me take a look at this as well. What all do I have access to now? I can get another death bolt. Why not? Oh, that's it. It just gave me one extra death bolt. Maybe on this tier I got more stuff. Maybe. Okay, good incarnation. Things I would know. Okay. Before you said that when we die, traces are left in the mind. That's what caused you all to emerge, right? My understanding may not be complete, but yes, that seems to be the case. And we may make ourselves felt in small ways. So is it possible that the first of us, the real one of us, before all the incarnations, might still be buried somewhere in my mind? The expression on the incarnation's face flickers for just a moment, but it is like a window, and you suddenly realize who it is you are speaking to. You were the first of us. The incarnation's eyes take on a haunted look, and his gaze turns away from yours. I know what you were thinking, but it is not the case. You think that knowing the mind of the first of us will somehow help you here, in this place. It will not. But why? I have so many questions that you can answer. Why did we become immortal? Why? Because if we die, truly die, the incarnation looks up at you, and his eyes are like steel. Dead's kingdom will not be paradise. Not for us. If you spoke to these others that were here, know that a fraction of the evil of their lives is but a drop of water compared to the evil of mine. That life, that one life, even without the thousands of others, has given a seat in the lower planes for eternity. But you seem so much calmer, more well-intentioned. I became that way, yes, because for me, his voice takes on a strange echo. It is regret that may change the nature of a man. He sighs. But it was too late. I was already damned. I do like as well that there's also the acknowledgement that for different people, it can change their nature, right? There are different things for different people that function as this. What can change your nature? I found that changing my nature was not enough. I needed more time, and I needed more life. So I came to the greatest of the Grey Sisters and asked her for a boon to try and help me live long enough to rectify all the damage I had done, to make me immortal. And Ravel did, but when she first tested your immortality and killed you, you forgot everything. Everything. He looks broken, and the planes have been dying ever since. The crime is great, and the blame is mine. There's so many questions I have for you. Who are you? What was your life like? Who? The incarnation shakes his head, cutting you off. When I become no more, when I merge with you, you will have the answers you seek. It may take some time to sort them out, but they are there. He smiles ruefully. It is difficult to communicate a life with words. Very well then, we shall become as one. Are you ready? One last thing. Just this. The incarnation pauses for a moment, searching your features. Before I return to Oblivion, there's something I would know. I can spare a little time for this. What do you wish to know? He studies your eyes, his expression somber. Did you live your life? The brief life you had? In the end, was it worth it? I do like that as well here. Like, we saw this before last time, but I do like that we're finally having an incarnation that very much has come to terms with the idea that each incarnation is a full different person. You know? And, well, I don't know. I think the practical one also did that. They just saw it in a different light, right? They were very practical about it. They didn't care that each one was sort of like its own individual human life, and that was precious, and there were unique experiences, good and bad, in each incarnation. I don't think they gave a shit. They just saw it as like a tool to be used down to their last moment. The paranoid one saw it as theft, right? As something that claimed ownership over their body, right? Because ultimately they felt violated, that their own personhood had been violated, and it was taken away from them by sort of the original sin, right? The good incarnation and their machinations, which got everyone, you know, incarnated in this way, you know? And they're right? They're right in a way. As we had said, if you don't have the particular faculties to withstand that sort of, I don't know, abuse and like trauma that the world would dish out upon you, then yeah, you could totally fold. 100% makes sense that someone would go mad from such an experience, from being the incarnation of a man who existed not just once before, but many times, and some of those times grievously wronged a lot of people and like horrifically betrayed and did terrible things. Similarly amazing things too, but you know, you're really only gonna get, or the bad things are going to stand out the most, you know, at least to you personally, right? Because, you know, how often, right? How often do you have like a quiet moment to yourself, and sometimes you drift off, and maybe you do think of like a good fun moment, but the times that really stick out when you do that, you were probably already thinking what I was going to go to, when you have moments of self-doubt. Days, months, years, decades ago, when something went awry, or you maybe did something that you regret, you think about it, you go back and dwell on it. Even if you do have times where you go back and you think about happier moments, the ones that, when you think about the process of reminiscing like that, what really is the standout, often for most folks, are the bad things, are the regrets, are the wrongs, you know, stuff like that. Anyhow. Let's see. No, I was reborn in a terrible place. I'm sorry to have lived. It seems so short. What little I experienced I enjoyed, and I do not wish to forget it. Yeah, let's go with the same answer we had before. It's the truest of them all. And from here, we only got wisdom. I don't think any of them gave me dex. He nods, and for a moment you think he's going to say something, but then he collapses. The life running out of him and into yours. As he falls to the black stones, you feel a crawling sensation in the back of your skull, making you shiver, and you know the incarnation is no more. Oh, Dayanara. Can I consult myself? No. Okay. This is it here. Slab of black stone. Okay. Let's quick save. Hello, Dayanara. Before you is the ghostly form of Dayanara. Her spectral gown seems stirred by some ethereal breeze. Her eyes rest on yours, and you feel a strange, disjointed sensation, as if you were looking at several pairs of eyes at once. Dayanara? My love, at last I have found you. I searched for you after you were divided by the crystal. This fortress spans hundreds of miles, and I feared you were lost to me. Her ghostly eyes take your measure, searching your bodies for new wounds. Are you well? I think so. The crystal divided me, but I am one again. Now I am trapped here, however. I suspect trapping you here was the crystal's true purpose, but it poses no barrier for one such as I. She closes her eyes. Much do my eyes see, and the halls of this fortress are well known to me. If you are trapped here, my love, I shall see to it you are set free. Where is it you wish to go? I wish to find my adversary and defeat him. I wish to go where my mortality is and recover it. I wish to rejoin my friends. I wish to rejoin my companions. There are things I will need from them. I wish to speak to you for a moment and tell you how you died. And why. Yeah, let's give her some peace real quick. I wish to speak to you for a moment and tell you how you died and why. What are you speaking of? Truth. When I brought you to this fortress, it was my intention that you die here. I needed someone to remain behind so that they would serve as a link to this place. I knew because you loved me so much that your love would stave off death and allow you to become a spirit. And that is why you suffer now. Man, I think, right, that being such a fun loophole that was teased early on and ended up playing out in this interesting way that was used tactically by the practical one is so clever. And this gets at a lot of, we should really be talking about this at the end when the credits are rolling, but I'm going to say it now before I forget. This speaks to how a lot of the writing is in this game. It's very, like we've said before, it's so ahead of its time. It's doing so much for a late 90s video game, right? Where even narratively games that focus on narrative today sometimes struggle to reach what this has achieved, right? Right, we've talked about that. We've expressed that plenty. That in and of itself is pretty incredible, how ahead of its time is, and how even by contemporary standards, where there are plenty of games that do try and solely focus on narrative, this gives them a fucking run for their money. But just looking at, like, more so the prose, like the way in which exposition is delivered and, like, the world building, what's so fascinating about Planescape Torment, and it, mind you, it does have a lot of these trappings, but the exposition reminds me so much of, like, science fiction rather than fantasy, right? And like I said, mind you, there is a lot of sci-fi about it. You know, there's a lot of sci-fi present here, like not your typical, you know, like space opera sci-fi that most people go to think of when someone mentions sci-fi, or even cyberpunk in any way. I think more and more people do tend to think of that rather than like starships, spaceships, and stuff like that. But the genre, mind you, not the game, not the IP, but the genre, cyberpunk. But there's like the most peculiar thing about this is that, and mind you, I'll preface this by saying that I don't think it's necessary. In any genre, but it is kind of a hallmark of sci-fi that there be a lot of interesting rules about the world. There's different ways that technology works, different people work, different facets of living in like a science fiction area, like different species or whatever. There's rules about how they work. Sometimes those rules get subverted. Sometimes they're used in a peculiar way. But Planescape Torment has such a peculiar focus on it that it seems, it like screams that this is like, I don't know, good sci-fi writing, right? And like I said, mind you, there's plenty of non-science fiction where they do, you know, they build up another world or whatever, and there are rules within that world that are established, and they do the same stuff, right? They adhere to the rules, they play them out in an interesting way, subverting your expectations, but it is undeniably, I feel, such a hallmark of science fiction, and I feel like oftentimes when science fiction doesn't do that, people tend to get way more annoyed than when any other, like, setting, genre setting, sort of, doesn't set up rules or regularly breaks them, you know? It is predominantly something which is held within the realm of science fiction. I've talked about this before, where I think a lot of it is owed to, like, early sci-fi standouts. Star Trek, frankly, being, like, probably one of the biggest ones, wherein they sort of obsessed, fucking Gene Roddenberry kind of sort of, in a way, obsessed over the rules and, like, the science of that science fiction and how it would work. And to this day, a lot of real life stuff is drawn directly, you know, like, a lot of it is drawn and inspired directly by things in Star Trek or other sci-fi, right? But Star Trek is such a wild standout because of stuff like that. And because those sets of rules got so many, I don't know, nerds of a certain age interested in it, right? But like the big standout one is the tricorder. And today, smartphones, or very literally, I believe it's a very direct inspiration from science fiction, from Star Trek, are touch screens. In real life, touch screens would not exist in the same capacity or in the same exact way if not for Star Trek. A big deal with that show that got people to want to try and make that a reality, or to make touch screens a reality, is Star Trek, right? And they also had like all of the various user guide manuals and stuff about like, oh, this is right, exploring like, oh, these are the nacelles, this is how what's up with a tachyon beam, these are all the different parts of the ship, here's engineering and all of that, right? You could buy these like extra guidebooks and manuals and stuff that explored like, oh, take a look at the inside of the Enterprise, this is how a phaser functions, right? Here's the little shuttle that the Enterprise go, oh, isn't it cool how the Enterprise in TNG, it can split apart or whatever, the saucer splits off like that? That's wild. Also, it looks very fucked up and weird. Right? But yeah, this has such a shared like hallmark of that same sort of sci-fi where it quickly tries to establish the world and so many rules within it, and like we have seen, it loves to play around with them. It's so fascinating the way in which it does it. It's very unlike fantasy, which, like I said, isn't to say that there's not any other settings, fantasy or otherwise, that don't obsess over rules and establishing stuff within a world. But it is predominantly like within the realm of science fiction, right? And it feels very much in that same way, what they're doing here. And just as well, you know, just to cover all my bases, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. It just so happens to be that that's just kind of how it has worked out, you know? Anyway, lie. Sorry. When you died here in the fortress, it was because of the adversary that awaits us. He wished you to die so that we would be apart. I go to confront him soon, and I will have my revenge on him. That's so wild that you can say, you bring up, I want to tell you how and why you died, and then you just lie. That's so wild. What do you get from that, I wonder? Okay, truth. When I brought you to this fortress, it was my intention that you die here. I needed someone to remain behind so that they would serve as a link to this place. I knew because you loved me so much that your love would stave off death and allow you to become a spirit. That is why you suffer now. Dayanara's face is a mask as you speak the words. Lie. I am sorry, Dayanara. Truth. I'm sorry, Dayanara. Truth. It was necessary, Dayanara. I'm sorry that you have suffered. I don't think it was necessary. Truth. I'm sorry, Dayanara. Do you love me? If you say yes, my love, then nothing that has happened matters. Lie. Of course I love you. Even death cannot kill the bond between us. Truth. Though I did not know you at first, I have come to love you. Your suffering has become mine, and I have found that I will do what I can to help you. Yeah, that's kind of beautiful, right? If you want to go that route, even though you don't really know her that much as a person, as we talked about before, hardship can bring people together, and we have such a unique and shared hardship, and she has such a unique and bizarre way of like expressing care for you, despite it not being the same you that she fell in love with, and that you don't know even that much about her. There is such a unique, fucked up, like, thing that brings these two people together. You know, something that's kind of unique about them both is their persistence and, like, being fucked up sort of by the same root cause, you know? Indirectly or not. Truth. I'm sorry, Dayanara. I do not. I never knew you. Perhaps if I had met you under different circumstances. And I do love that's there too, because I think you could also read it that way, right? I don't know. I kind of love the beauty of like this fucked up situation bringing them together. Right? Like, I think if it were me in the moment, I would tell her, I'm sorry, I do not love you. You know, because I need more. I need to know more about you to like fully commit and be like, yeah, I love you with all my fucking heart. But as well, I think like within the narrative, this is so fucking beautiful. You know, it's such a weird and unique fucking love story, right? In that they would come to love each other and find like ways in which they care for one another. And, you know, it's so fucked up and imperfect. It's kind of beautiful. I can't help but fucking love it and want to go down that road. Yeah, I have to go with 2. It's so fucking poetic and beautiful, I feel. Though I did not know you at first, I've come to love you. Your suffering has become mine, and I have found that I will do what I can to help you. Then I will aid you, my love. Tell me, how can I help you? And I shall do it. I'm trapped here. Can you help me escape? If you are trapped here, my love, I shall see to it you are set free. Where is it you wish to go? Well, she was already going to do that. All right. I want to rejoin my friends. I like that there's also the more clinical version of that. Okay. I wish to rejoin my friends. And just as well, I'm pretty sure that these are the same thing too. Right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 are both the same thing. Right? It may not work out that way, but I'm pretty sure 1 and 2 would take us to the same place. I wish to rejoin my friends. In fact, maybe all of them will take us to the same place, frankly. As you wish, my love. She stretches out her hand. Touch my hand, and the walls of this fortress shall be walls no more. Touch her hand.
I forgive what you have done. I shall wait for you in death's halls, my love.
Oh. Fortress roof. Oh, fuck.
Done.
Okay. Uh-oh. Ooh. Everybody's dead here. Okay. Well, huh. Okay. Sure. Well, this is everybody's fucking stuff. All right. I think that's all them. Yeah, they're dead no matter fucking what. Okay. Sure. Do I want any of this? Huh. So no matter what, they're all fucking toast. No matter what. Okay. I guess on the bright side, if I want any of this, I can just yoink it up off the ground. Right? I could do that. Ooh, man, I wish I had the sensor now. I wish I had that. Okay. Sure. I'm worried that the big boss is right over here. I'm worried about that. Okay. Can I rest? No, too dangerous. Shit. Because Dayanara, or not, because Fall from Grace, she could resurrect people, but she doesn't have the spell equipped. Unless, can I go back through and rest there? Does Dayanara reappear and help me? No. Wishful thinking. Okay, well that didn't work. Okay. Yeah, I only have 3 of these. Fuck. Okay, who do I want? Who do I want? Oh, I'm thinking Mort, Dakin, and Grace. I'm thinking that's the combo. Yeah, let's try it. Fuck it. Is this gonna work even? Did I misclick? Oh shit. That's not good. Okay. Alright, alright, alright. Okay, okay. That's fine. That's fine. Okay.
Alright.
Well, is there anything that I want to take off of them? I mean, definitely. Absolutely. Okay. I guess I'll drop that. The mirror of imaging. Okay. Are there any other good things I want to immediately take up? I don't know. Okay. Yeah, fuck it. Let's just fucking go. Yeah, none of them are actually selectable. It's just the shit on the ground. Well, if I go up close to him? Yeah, nothing. Hang on, maybe it was a range problem? No, because the only thing that lights up is their loot. Okay. Well.
So you have come. Then you shall die again.
Oh no. Okay. Sure. Hello.
So you have come.
Come. Okay.
You are unwelcome here, Broken One.
What have you done to my friends?
Are they dead? Yes. Unlike you, they have but one life. And they wasted it for your sake.
They died for you, as they always have. Such is the way of all mortal things. It is the fate of all that follow you, Broken One. You have forgotten much. Why did you do it? They tried to harm me. Here, of all places. I defended myself. In so doing, mortality claimed them. Their deaths were by their own hand. I gave them the opportunity to depart this place, but they seemed determined to help you, despite the cost to themselves. So you killed them. The tiefling girl was especially fierce in your defense. Her feelings for you burned brighter than Elysium's fires. And the Tanari, she was quite strong. Her tolerance for pain would have shamed the Batizu themselves. I took no pleasure in their deaths. Then why did you do it? It was not my will. It was not I that brought them here. All of them had a choice, and they chose to die for you. It has always been the way of all that follow you, for they are tormented souls seeking a release, but they know not why. You have forgotten this, and you shall again. I know you for what you are. You are my mortality. Your armor, it is twisted like tree branches. Such things speak of Ravel's magics. Oh, armor, okay. Who are you? Why have you done this? That's kind of cool that we can figure it out too in the game as well. Yeah, I fucking know who you are. If this is true, yeah, I really think it is. All right. Yes, I am that which was split from you by the hag's power. That said, I do think that there's a whole lot when you go to Cursed, right? Like when I was like tossing out the wild ass theories, I think there's a lot that points in that direction right then and there, right? When you first get, and I feel like just the naming scheme alone, the Transcendent One, as opposed to the Nameless One, I think that's such a dead giveaway as far as thematics are concerned. All right. But as per usual, knowing a twist, right, predicting a twist, does not make it any less delicious if the twist is pulled off well enough, right? And let alone the twist hardly matters, right? It barely matters, like so many other things here. Like what we were talking about with the other incarnations, it doesn't matter, right? Certain things with them, information about our past and all of that, we'll come to terms with it later, but ultimately it's irrelevant, right? In what we're doing here and now, it's irrelevant to me who, you know, I am my own person. It's very cleverly set up. Like I said, the adherence and interest in toying with rule sets within the world, it's very, very well done. Yes, I am that which was split from you by the hag's power. I am that which walks with all life. My voice is a death rattle, a last breath in the throat, the whisper of a dying man. I have been freed from the prison of your flesh. Freed from me? The moment I was split from your cancerous shell, I knew life. I knew freedom. I shall not surrender it to you. We were not meant to be separated, and the planes have suffered because of our separation. You know nothing of meaning and separation. Before your memory dies again, know that we were never meant to be as one. This shall be the last time you and I speak, Broken One. There is something I would know, Spirit. I have traveled far and there are many questions you can answer. I will not surrender to you. Prepare yourself, Spirit. We shall see if my mortality can be slain. Then there is something I would know, Spirit. I have traveled far and there are many questions that you can answer. I will indulge you this one last time. Then this fortress shall be silent again. Then my questions are these. Ask your questions, but know you shall never remember the answers. Okay. You have done everything you can to prevent us from meeting face to face. Why? Yeah, this is another thing that I'm fascinated by, is how willingly the game is ready to not only divulge answers to some of these big heady questions, but also that it came up with answers, right? I think it's wild that it, like, some of the things that we were able to ask the other incarnations and here, I feel like you didn't need to go that far, but it's really cool. And once again, like I said, it really speaks to sort of like the science fiction leanings of it, right? of all of it, where it's kind of obsessed with these details, with the rules, with the made-up rules for the fictional world, the fictional setting. Right? It's very fascinating. It's very cool. I may be immortal, but Ravel told me the ritual was flawed. Whenever I die, I lose a fraction of my mind. In time, after many deaths, I shall lose the ability to even think for myself. My friends, I want to see their lives return to them, and I want them to have free passage from this place. Then this is my final question. What can change the nature of a man? Oh, we can ask our mortality. There's nothing more I wish to know. Prepare yourself, spirit. We shall see if my mortality can be slain. You've done everything you can to prevent us from meeting face to face. Why? Do you not think I fear to face you, Broken One? Or do you think I fear to face you, Broken One? I do not. Is that why you send shadows to kill me, rather than trying to defeat me yourself? They've never succeeded in killing me, nor will they. If you do not fear me yet, then you have one thing left to learn. For now, there are other things I would know. Is that why you send shadows to kill me, rather than trying to defeat me yourself? They've never succeeded in killing me, nor will they. I send shadows because their reach is long, yet it is my eyes that guide them. So the shadows can travel distances you cannot. There is nothing I cannot do. Yet you never traveled beyond these walls to fight me. Only sent shadows. That is how a coward fights. My energies are needed to sustain this place, Broken One. Else it would be my hand on your throat with each of your deads. I may not travel beyond these fortress walls for long. Hence why Ravel wanted to help us, because this is a cage. It's a cage. I do not believe you. I think you're afraid to confront me, or else you are lying to me. There is another reason you remain here. Yet even when I was within the fortress walls, you sent Ignis to try and stop me, when you could have stopped me yourself. Then that crystal you set up to try and segment me and trap me. You didn't want to kill me. You only wanted to imprison me. I don't believe you. I think you're afraid to confront me, or else you are lying to me, and there is another reason you remain here. You know nothing. Why is sustaining this place so important for you? If you are truly as powerful as you say, why would you want to remain here? There is nothing here. It is my fortress. It is my home. And what a home it is, too. Mortared from my regrets, with nothing but the shades of those we've murdered filling its halls, abandoned relics of the past languishing beneath dust, and the life-draining energies of the negative material plane to feast the eyes on. There are words for places like that. They're called prisons. I like that it's so much stuff from the past, too, right? Transcendent One is stuck in the past. Every word betrays your ignorance, Broken One. The fortress is silent. All that comes here dies before intruding into my presence, and the shadows are quiet creatures. I think you have to remain here, along with the shadows and the ghosts, because that's what you've become. I don't think you sustain this place at all. I think it sustains you. I remain here by choice. Really? So when you said you can't journey beyond this fortress for long, you were lying? And how is it possible that a fortress built from my regrets needs you to sustain it? We shall see. There are other things I would know. If I keep going down this, are we going to... is something going to happen? Because I would like to talk about the other things. But I really want to click this too. I'm going to click it. I will see you die 1,000 deaths for your insolence, Broken One. You are an intruder within these halls, and I shall see to it you never return. We shall see. There are other things I would know. I tire of your idle threats. Prepare yourself, spirit. We shall see if my mortality can be slain. There are other things I would know. Ask your questions, but know you shall never remember the answers. I may be immortal, but Ravel told me the ritual was flawed. Whenever I die, I lose a fraction of my mind. In time, after many deaths, I shall lose the ability to even think for myself. It is of no matter. You cannot die. Your mind may be lost, but your flesh will live on. That is all that is needed. Needed why? We share a link, you and I, however small. I do not wish you destroyed, only far from me. Then why have you been trying to kill me all this time? If we're linked, then when I suffer, you must suffer as well. So you didn't want to kill me because if I were to die, that link would be broken. If we're linked, then when I suffer, you must suffer as well. The weak suffer. I endure. Okay, who'd you get that from? Which one of my fucking friends that you killed did you get that one from? You fucking asshole. So if I were to die, that link would be broken. You cannot die. Well, if I cannot die, then you can't exist. You're my mortality. Perhaps once, no longer. I've changed. I've transcended and become something greater. Perhaps so, but at your core, you are still my mortality. If I die, you die. Very well, there are other things I would know. If I die, you die. You know nothing of what you speak. Your words are hollow, as is your shell. I think I know exactly what I'm saying. If I were to be destroyed, you would be destroyed. You listen, but you do not hear. Know that you cannot die. Actually, I can. Now. I had a golem forge a weapon that can kill even me. All it needed was to be brought to a place cut off from the rest of the planes, so my immortality could not draw upon other lives. And here I am. Perhaps not. There are other things I would know. The weapon. Right. I want to say this, but I don't want to do it. I will say it. You lie. Hold up the blade. Do I? Look upon this blade. See its nature. If you are as all-knowing and as powerful as you claim, then you know this is the weapon that can unmake me. And since we share a link, it is the blade that can unmake you. You would not dare such a thing. You know I would. After all the misery you've put me through, I would gladly stab this right through your spectral hide. I will use the blade on myself if you do not surrender to me. You and I will both be destroyed. Use the blade on yourself. You know I would. If I perish, you shall perish. Our link shall be broken. You shall die the final death. Then as I see it, I have two choices. Either we both die, or I let you kill me again and again, losing what few pieces of my mind I have left. I think I'd prefer the quick death, unless you have a third solution. Use the blade on yourself. Let's go with the first one. Unless you have a third solution. There is no resolution to this matter. You will surrender the blade. Then you will submit. You will leave this fortress, and you will leave without your memory. There is no other solution. There is one other one. Reunite with me. We will become one again, as we were meant to be. You know not what you do. If we are reunited, then it shall be an ending. There shall be no future for us. We shall go on to further torments. It is better that happen than the multiverse continues to suffer because of us. If we become one, we shall suffer. There is too much of the nature of the first one in us to be saved. We shall be damned. You know not what you do. No, I know very well what I do, and I think this is the only answer. Prepare yourself. Oh, shit. Know that I have always hated you, Broken One. When we are one, I will continue to hate you. When your shell dies at last, know that I shall take pleasure in your death. I can live with that, and so can the planes. Know that my hatred for you will unmake the planes. Prepare yourself. We shall be as one again until your last moments of life. Before we do, one of my friends, is it possible to save them? Very well, I'm ready to become mortal again. Is it possible to save my friends? I am mortality itself. The nature of life and death is something I know well. When we are one, my knowing shall be yours. Very well, I'm ready to become mortal again. Oh my gosh. Oh, I wanted to ask it what can change the nature of a man. I wanted to ask that. How come it works this time? Right. Okay. As you reach out with your power, Mort suddenly floats into the air. Hold up, Chief. You don't need to resurrect me. I was, just kind of lying here, you know? Listening to you two. You were feigning death? Well, yeah. I mean, I'm already dead, and, Chief, what happened to your voice? Oh, I talk in all caps now. I didn't even realize it at first. I thought we were just mad at him. I am something else now. Time runs short, and soon time and fate will catch up with me. I will return you to Sigil, Mort, if you wish it. What? Return me? What about you? Come on, Chief. I may be a coward, but there's no way I'm leaving you in this place. Many are the crimes that were committed when my mortality and I were split. These crimes carry a price. You may not go where I will soon be. Well, I could go with you anyway, Chief. If you wanted me to. I mean, we've been through worse. Not this time. Perhaps one day you and I will meet again, on another plane, but not now.
Not to get all misty-eyed, but, it's been a pleasure, Chief.
Mort stares at you for a moment, then sighs. Farewell, Mort. You reach out with your power. There is a rush of air, and Anna stirs. She raises her head slowly, then shakes it, confused. Anna, are you all right? Anna's eyes widen as she hears your voice. What happened to you? Your voice, it's like echoes, it is. I've changed. I'm something else now, and I cannot remain here much longer. I will return you to Sigil if you wish it. What? Anna opens her mouth, then pauses. What? Where are you going? Many are the crimes that were committed when my mortality and I were split. These crimes carry a price. There is a price reserved for one such as I on the lower planes. It is punishment of a sort. But I don't want you to go. I will not forget how much you were willing to sacrifice for me, Anna. Anna nods. She looks like she is about to say something else, but then falls silent. But the unspoken thought remains in her mind, lingering. I do not need your words to know your heart, Anna. Farewell. As your power touches him, Dakin takes a staggered breath, then looks up weakly. It looks like he's barely clinging to life. Awaken Dakin of Shrakat Lor, last wielder of the Karak blade. As he hears her words, Dakin slowly nods. Your voice. Have you at last come to know yourself? Yes, it was a difficult thing, and it cost many lifetimes. Many suffered so that I might know myself again. The knowing of oneself is a difficult path. In knowing it, I know where I shall soon be bound. Time and fate come here even as we speak, and I will not be here much longer. I will return you to Sigil, Dakin, if you wish. Dakin falls silent for a moment. When he speaks again, his voice is sharp, as if severing a link. Know that once I owed you a debt. Know that you saved my life, and know that I followed you to settle that debt.
I have paid for your life with mine. The debt is settled.
Very well, Dakin. Our two deaths were as one. You will leave this place with your freedom. Honestly, I feel like we should have done Nordum first and Mort last or something like that. At the very least, we should have done Nordum first, because I feel like closing out with Nordum is going to be a little silly. As your power touches Fall from Grace, she rises dizzily to her feet. Even disoriented, she somehow manages to maintain her composure. Fall from Grace. Fall from Grace looks up, and she holds your eyes for a moment. Then she smiles. But it is a slight smile that carries more sadness than anything else. Your voice. So you have found yourself at last. Yes, the price was high. The cost was many lifetimes, mine and others. The price of such a thing is seldom measured in copper. Fall from Grace studies your features. Are you still... I am still the one you know, but my perspective has changed. I have not forgotten you, if that is your fear. Fall from Grace smiles again, the same sad smile as before. No, that was not my fear. I cannot remain here for much longer. My punishment calls, and fate and time shall soon be here. I will return you to Sigil if you wish. That is not my wish. Fall from Grace reaches forward, and her hand lightly touches your arm. There is a slight tingling sensation, barely felt, and then she takes it away. I will find you again. No matter where in the lower planes you will be, just as you shall be able to find me. It may be a long time. Where I am bound, time is not measured in years, and the crimes I have committed are stronger than any cage. No cage shall separate us, and no plane shall divide us. Fall from Grace's face becomes like stone. Keep thinking of me, and we shall meet again. I shall not forget all you sacrificed for me. Hey, do you think, now that I'm trying to wonder, like, we're never probably going to get a clear answer on what exactly we did that was so fucked up. What if we were that airship commander guy who ordered the bombardment of the City of Innocence and we killed shitloads of people? What if that was us from the fucking Sensory Stone? Right? What if that's a little, like, you know, it's not confirmed, right? There's no 100% guarantee that that was us. But someone snuck that in there as like, yeah, if we ever make a sequel to this shit, that's what it's about. Or that's what it was. That's who you were, right? Because that's like the most grievous, like, crime against humanity that we know of, you know? Committed by a mortal that we've heard any tale of. I shall not forget all you sacrificed for me. She shakes her head. Just do not forget me. Time lays waste to all things, but I shall fight it as long as I can.
Time is not your enemy. Forever is.
Perhaps so. Farewell, Grace. Nordum, you're the last guy I'm bringing back. You better have some kind of a fucking banger. Ain't no way Nordum's topping any of those. You reach out with your power, shaping the soul into Nordum's shape, slowly, until you feel it slipping back into the Modron's body. There's a shudder from Nordum's frame, and he springs to his feet. Nordum. Nordum blinks, the shutters of his eyes clicking rapidly. Then the shutters dilate to points, as if he is squinting at you. Your voice exceeds standard recognized parameters. I have become whole again. I've changed, but I shall not be here much longer. I will return you to Sigil, Nordum, if you wish. Query. Where is your next destination? Nordum will follow and protect you. I have committed many crimes across many lifetimes. I go now to a place of punishment. You cannot come with me. Branching query. Do you not require, or do you not want, presence of Nordum? You cannot follow Nordum. It is not my choice. There are other powers that now rule my actions. They always did. But now, they know me for what I am, and they come even as we speak. Nordum whir clicks for a moment. Then his crossbows begin clicking and twanging in his hands. Nordum surrenders gratitudes. You helped Nordum find his indemnity. As you helped me find mine, I give you your freedom, Nordum. Explore, learn, grow. We may meet again on another plane in a time far from now. Response heard and acknowledged. Nordum now awaiting said day. Hold on to your logic, Nordum. You will find it a greater shield than most of the passions that rule the planes.
The issue no longer equals total logic.
Farewell, Nordum. Hold on to your logic, Nordum. Oh my god. Did you see that? I think that was my character from Baldur's Gate 3. Wow. Maybe I should have killed my mortality. That was a little bittersweet, but I don't know, I fucking love a tragic, bittersweet ending. I fucking love that shit. My only regret is not asking my mortality what can change the nature of a man. That's my main regret. And also not playing as a mage from the start. Yeah, wow, what a wild game. Like I said before, we kind of already touched on a lot of the wild stuff about that we probably should have saved for right now. But so ahead of its time, shockingly ahead of its time in so many ways as far as like being a game that's so narrative focused, right? There's so many games that not just today, but leading up to today that have all attempted being narrative focused and didn't quite nail some of the intricacies of like world building and like the internal struggle and all of that. You know? Right? Also very wild. What I really was not expecting is all of the ways in which Disco Elysium took so much, right, inspiration from this game and gave so many nods to it. Like, it's ridiculous. Bishop. Yeah, so wild. And how many parallels there are that exist between the two games. How is Planescape Tides of Numenera? How is that? I heard it's not quite as good as this, right? And it's very different story about very different characters. It just happens to be a similar setting that tries to go for something, a similar vibe. You know? I don't know. Is it worth thinking about playing? I think I have it on my to-do list, but it's pretty far down. And in knowing that it's not like a direct continuation, as far as I know, maybe not gonna, right, anytime soon. Maybe you're gonna put that one on the back burner. I don't know. Yeah, and also as well, one of the other surprises is when I had heard people say so much about the combat being uninteresting, I feel like a lot of that kind of ignores the fact that there is not only like there's a surprising amount of it, but mage combat ain't too bad, right? It's kind of fun. It's fun to have a big magic happen. Man, fuck, you know what? I never got to see the fucking the big spell effect go off. I never got to fucking see it. Oh my god, I did all the power leveling just for the fucking scroll, I guess. Because I never got to actually see that spell go off. I never got to, because I never fought anything after I did the power leveling, right? Well, I guess I fought a few of the shadows, right? That's wild. That's wild. Man. I do think that the game is flawed, right? It definitely has some weird shit, right? Like we said, with regards to combat and like having it kind of be unnecessarily there. And definitely being like one of the lowest parts of the game compared to everything else. But I don't know. Who doesn't love a fucking flawed masterpiece, right? Who doesn't love a flawed cult classic? Which, man, it definitely, like everything about the fucking game just screams like it, like what other game is more of a cult classic than this, you know? It really takes the fucking cake, huh? My god. That's wild. Holy hell. Yeah, wild that this was 1999. Good lord. What a world. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a whole lot. I would say the pacing of it was a little wonky at times, right? I do feel like it was the right call to cut short all the different plane hopping, right? All the different planes walking that we underwent. Because if you were to expand upon it, I feel like when it comes to the planeswalking, like going into the Outlands, going to Cursed, going to Carcerai, all that business, that's cool. But if you were to expand on it, it would severely like make you would have to do so much more for the game, right? It would massively amp up the amount of work you would have to do. Because not only would you have to fill out a lot of these locations and all that, but you would want the quest to be in some way consequential to the actions of the Nameless One, either in, you know, an overarching theme or in the sense of it's directly connected to your past actions, right? I was a little disappointed that the Lady of Pain didn't come into anything directly. She's very much just maintaining herself being like a facet of the world, you know, of Planescape, the setting. Which I guess Coax Metal is as well. Coax Metal is a little bit of that as well. Right, when we talk about like different rules and stuff of the world and sort of like different parts of it being worked in interesting ways, I think it would have been cool if the Lady of Pain factored in more directly. It is cool the way in which mazing was done, though. That is very cool, right? That is an excellent example of this game doing that, right? Very neat. Huh. Yeah, what a wild what a wild one. All right. Done. Cool. Okay. Well, you know what? Let me actually, just before we actually formally call it, let's see. Where were we? Right over here. Okay. Little extra something something. Okay. Let me just cast this fucking spell, right? Let's just see it. Let's just see it. Fuck! Oh, fuck! Fuck me. Okay, we'll have to do it in the other save then. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Okay, over here. Okay, and then let's see it here. Well, let's get a load of this. What the fuck? Okay, hang on. Is it because there's no enemies here? Is that it?
All right.
Okay, let's try this. Up here. Okay, yeah, ignore the creature.
His limbo, yet it rings of Machinus.
Then, oh, whoops. Oh my god, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Fuck, oh fuck. Okay, I'm never gonna cast this spell. It's never gonna happen. Okay. Over here.
I think, therefore I am.
Done.
I think.
Done. Done.
Okay. Are they aggroed onto me or what? The fuck is all this? What are they doing over
Sure,
there?
why not?
Okay, here we go. Finally! Oh no, the camera is fucked up. Oh, thank goodness, it doesn't matter. Okay, cool. Oh no, the egg. Bird. Oh. Fucking blight storm ass noise. Oh my god. Oh my god. Dang. That's funny. That one didn't even die from it. Okay. Other extra I have to ask what can change the nature of a man? Right? I have to ask.
I'm gone.
I want to know what it says.
So you have come. You are unwelcome here, Broken One.
I wonder what other permutations there are to, like, the ending. Obviously, there's, like, what we got, which requires that you have that blade.
Are they dead?
And there must be one where you
Unlike
fight.
you, they have but one life. And they wasted wasted it for your sake.
Okay, yada yada. Why did you do it? Okay, we'll skip through this. We know all of it. I have to know what it says. Okay. Who are you? Why have you done this? Can it be that you have come all this way and know not what lies at the end? No, I know what you are. You are my mortality. What do you mean? I am that which walks with all life. My voice is a death rattle, a last breath in the throat, the whisper of a dying man. What I want to know is if it were able to be sustained somewhere other than in the Fortress of Regrets in the negative material plane, which cuts it off from all other life, the Nameless One's mortality really would transcend into like a ridiculous amount of godhood, right? Given that in the Planescape setting, belief in something confers power, and everyone believes in mortality, right? Thus, if it weren't barred from that connection, it would be impossibly powerful. Everyone would believe it, regardless of their faith, right? Am I correct in assuming that, or is that not how it works? Right, this is me consulting like the rule book. All right. Let's see. You are my mortality. Yes, I am that which was split from you by the hag's power, freed from the prison of your flesh. Freed from me? Okay, we knew about this. We heard that. Yada yada. I have questions for you. Okay. Then this is my final question. What can change the nature of a man? The question is meaningless. Nonetheless, before there is an ending between us, I will hear your answer. Then this is my answer, and you are the proof. Nothing can change the nature of a man. Then that is all I wish to know. I shall prove you wrong. Prepare yourself, spirit. We shall see if my mortality can die. If there is anything that I've learned in my travels across the plains, it is that many things may change the nature of a man. Whether regret, or love, or revenge, or fear. Whatever you believe can change the nature of a man can. Then that is your answer. There is something else I would know. I want to say all this shit. Then you have learned a false lesson, Broken One. Have I? I've seen belief move cities, make men stave off death, turn an evil hag's heart half-circle. This entire fortress has been constructed from belief. Belief damned a woman whose heart clung to the hope that another loved her when he did not. Once it made a man seek immortality and achieve it, and it has made a posturing spirit think it is something more than a part of me. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty good one. Your defiance will hurt you more than any wound in this place. Belief cannot change the nature of a man. I think it can. I think belief could even unmake me if I believed it enough. I'll say that. You do not possess the force of will for such a thing. So you admit it is possible. Do not try my patience, Broken One. Focus your will inwards. Center yourself. You are a fool to think you can achieve such a thing. You can barely keep your own tattered mind intact. There is nowhere left for you to fall, Broken One. Keep focusing. Stop. You know not what you do. I know what I do. You've tormented me enough, and now it ends. If you do this thing, we shall be undone. There is no one fate here. You destroy us both. As I see it, I have two choices. I can either kill us both, or I let you kill me again and again. Oh, this is the same as before. So there's a way to do it even if you don't have, the weapon from Coke's Metal. You can go about it this way. Which, honestly, I like this route even more than the Coke's Metal route. Right? I mean, it seems like they reach the same end, right? But I think this is far more poetic, especially because it starts with questioning what can change the nature of a man. You know, that's so much more beautiful. I think there is. I think we can become one again. Okay. Good, good. All right. What if I don't bring my friends back? Or do I still do it anyway? Okay, yeah, we do it anyway. Fair enough. Yeah, I would assume that that one is like a wisdom check or an int check or something like that. That's one of the big things I do wish existed in this game is more audio-visual feedback whenever you succeed in unlocking dialogue. You know? Or even if you don't show it, right? If you still want the player to commit to their own choice, right? And they've unlocked it. I do think that there's a clever, right? I do think that that's something worth keeping in mind, is that they very deliberately don't want to show their hand, but they kind of do anyway, right? But like, you know, the idea is that they don't want to show their hand and say like, oh, you unlocked, because you have X amount of wisdom, you've unlocked this new dialogue choice. If you say that to the player, I feel like 90+% of players, when they see that they have unlocked, thanks to how they have built out their character, they have unlocked extra dialogue, they will always click that. And true enough, the game isn't perfect at this either, because oftentimes when you unlock a dialogue option that is normally not there, it's very obvious, right? It's very obvious. It's very different from all the others and stuff like that. You know, you have to be a fucking idiot to not recognize it when it happens 9 times out of 10. Maybe one of them gets by, right? But 9 times out of 10, I think most people who are playing a game like this are going to recognize it. But if you could finesse your way around that problem, just have it to where once you click on it, it tells you, yeah, that you actually got this one because you had 20 charisma, right? If you don't want to show your hand immediately, you know, very clever stuff. All right. Well, I think we'll call it here for now, right? I think this will be the end of it, right? My gosh, Planescape Torment. What a joy. What a fun joy. Some of the side quests, I would say, were also a little, weird, right? And uninteresting and untied, not tied to the main thing, to the main of everything going on. I would say that's like a quarter or less of the quest, because so much of it tied directly into the theme of the game or directly to like the actions of a past incarnation, and that was very fun. Very enjoyable having such a like solid vision for everything. But like I said, the drawback of that, of having it have such a solid like through line, is that when it skews, when it did skew away from that, you do tend to like retroactively start to notice like, well, this actually didn't have too much to do with much of anything, right? That's a little peculiar. That feels a little like ho-hum, a little like business as usual in RPG land, right? Which, you know, normally wouldn't be such a big deal, but the reach and attempted reach of this game is so vast, is so high, so beyond what you would anticipate, that, you know, your expectations get kind of thrown out of whack, right? Like, this is really, they're really gunning for it here with like everything except maybe combat, right? But yeah, what a joy, what a joy. Definitely glad that I finally got around to playing this one, right? A really excellent one to finally have under my belt, so to speak, right? Really wild to go forward. And now I know all the other people who have played this game, all the other people who use the Nameless One as their avatar, or Mort. Those are the two big ones, and frankly, I think maybe the only ones I've ever seen, or at least ones I've noticed. I know now that the Nameless One is not blue. I know that he's not blue. Right? That's the biggest takeaway of all. What can change the nature of a man? Finding out that he ain't blue. This guy is not blue, and it's for an amazing reason. All right. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this trip through Planescape Torment as much as I have. This is our first CRPG on the CRPG slot on the channel that has used the camera, right? Which, I don't know, this is one where we did a lot of reading, and a lot of the reading is centrally located at the bottom of the screen. So for a lava, I'm just kind of looking down like this, right? So I don't know how that plays, right? But nonetheless, I kind of enjoyed it, right? It's made for some fun moments looking into the camera and addressing it that way. I think next up, taking this slot will not be a CRPG, because we're going to do a quick, at least I think it ought to be quick, a quick offshoot. We'll have, as per usual, a little break of this slot. But we will head into Vampire the Masquerade 2, or Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, which I've heard some interesting things about. Right? For better or worse, I have said since I played another seminal classic, which I'm really glad I played. Since I played the original, I've said that no matter what, I'm going to play the sequel, and it's finally out. Hopefully by the time it's installed and running on this channel, whatever, there's been a few bug fixing patches or whatever, because it sounds like they had a few, right? But we'll try and get through that one quick, because I'm not sure exactly what to expect. Maybe we'll find a diamond in the rough. You know, the unfortunate thing is that I don't think it plays anything like this sort of immersive sim experience from the first game, right? But that's what's up next, and then we'll go back to Baldur's Gate 3 for the Dark Urge playthrough, and then after all that, which, granted, our second run through of Baldur's Gate 3 will probably be significantly quicker than the first one, but regardless, then maybe we'll check out, like, I've been hankering for Rogue Trader, right? But that's a long ways off. That's a long ways off, huh? All right. Thank you so much for tuning in to Planescape Torment, the playthrough. We played through it on maximum difficulty, by the way, right? Like I said, not a big through point or main point of the game itself, but we did. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for liking, commenting, subscribing. All that sort of stuff helps. I love reading the comments. As you've heard, I often refer to reading from people who've left helpful comments or whatever. Insightful comments as well. We have had quite a few people who enjoyed Disco Elysium as well, tagging along for this, as I was expecting. Let's see. Thanks as well for folks who tipped directly monetarily through, like, coffee, through Patreon, through YouTube's own little tip system. It's not necessary at all. I always want to keep everything on the channel sort of accessible and free to everybody, but it does help out a lot. Thank you very much. I appreciate it greatly. Thanks for sharing the videos. Thanks for sharing stuff. Word of mouth, that kind of thing helps out a bunch as well. Hope to see you in future ones, right? Hope to see you for VTMB 2. And if you haven't seen the first one, oh my god, the first one was excellent, right? Even if you don't watch the sequel one, you gotta see the first one. We just got done with Spooky Times in real life, right? It's November now, but my god, the first one, what a treat. What a treat. I walked away from that one really surprised. As far as expectations here with Planescape Torment, I'd heard so many people talking it up, saying that I personally would really like it. So many people over the years saying, like, yeah, this is some wild stuff. It lives up to it. It lives up to it, right? It lives up to it. I wouldn't say it surpassed my expectations, like was the case with VTMB, just since I was talking about it. But it was very good. It was very good. And I think part of that is owed to the fact that, like, this is such an old game at this point. And I have heard, like, years worth of people, lifetimes worth of people saying that this is such a fucking banger. And it's true. It's true. Wild to see, like I said, all of the influences that it's had on things that came after it. You know? Like, it's so fucking wild. All right. That'll do it. Thanks so much for watching, even if you just watched this final video for whatever damn reason. Hope to see you in the future one. And if not, please take care of each other.